Have you ever thought about the biggest problem a plant faces? It can't move. While clouds and animals race by, a plant is permanently rooted to one spot. It can't walk over to find a mate, and it can't carry its babies to a safe place to grow. But plants aren't helpless. Instead of moving, they've figured out how to trick the rest of the world, like the wind, the passing insects, and even you, into doing the heavy lifting for them. If you've ever walked through tall grass and found those little sticky green seeds, we call them blackjack or sasanko, clinging to your trousers, you've experienced this firsthand. You might find them annoying. To the plant, you are a free taxi ride to a new home. This trickery is the reason we have food. Look at these hands holding a harvest of maize. Every single kernel on those cobs, every bean in a pod, and every juicy mango you eat is the direct result of a plant successfully pulling off this hidden process. To see how plants actually make these seeds and fruits, we need to step inside their primary manufacturing facility, the flower. A flower's biological purpose is manufacturing and shipping. It is a functional tool designed to build new seeds and coordinate the delivery process required to spread those seeds across the country. We can see how a hibiscus is put together by looking at this illustration. On the outside, there are the large red petals which attract visitors. Underneath them are the green, leaf-like sepals, which protect the flower before it opens. Deep inside, the real work begins. Notice these tiny stalks topped with little yellow pads. These are the male parts of the factory, called stamens. The yellow pads at the top produce the fine dust we call pollen. Right in the center is the female part, shaped a bit like a bottle. It has a sticky landing pad at the very top and a swollen base at the bottom, which holds the plant's tiny eggs. For the plant to make a seed, that yellow pollen dust from the male part has to reach the sticky landing pad on the female part. This crucial shipping step is called pollination. Because the flower can't pack up the pollen and move it itself, it relies on passing couriers to do the job. Usually, this means relying on buzzing insects or a strong breeze. This chart compares how plants attract those couriers. Plants that use insects grow brightly colored petals and produce sweet nectar as a bribe. Plants that use the wind don't need to be flashy. They grow dull-colored flowers and simply produce massive clouds of very light pollen, hoping a gust of wind catches it. Every curve, color, and scent of a flower is engineered to ensure that pollen package gets delivered to the right address. Getting the pollen to the landing pad is only the first step. The actual creation of a new plant happens entirely out of sight, deep inside the flower. The moment a tiny grain of pollen touches that sticky surface, it wakes up. It immediately drills a microscopic tunnel straight down through the center of the flower, aiming for the swollen base where the tiny eggs are waiting. In this animation, you can track the exact moment the material from the pollen grain reaches the egg and merges with it. This fusion is called fertilisation. With the assembly complete, the factory begins to shut down. The bright petals and the male pollen stalks dry up and fall off. They've done their jobs. Now, a physical transformation takes place. That tiny fertilized egg hardens into a seed, locking away all the biological instructions needed to grow into a full-sized plant. Next, the swollen base of the flower, the room where the egg was sitting, swells up like a balloon, changes color, and becomes a fruit. Think about that the next time you eat an apple or a slice of watermelon. You are eating a protective shipping container built by a plant to keep its new seeds safe. But the plant's mission still isn't finished. If a massive tree dropped all of its new seeds directly beneath its own branches, those baby plants would be trapped in the shade. They would fight for the exact same water and sunlight, and most would quickly die. To give its offspring a fighting chance, the parent plant has to scatter its seeds as far away as possible. This is where those juicy fruits come in handy. Plants offer up sweet, fleshy fruits as a bribe to hungry animals. A monkey will eat the fruit, travel miles through the forest, and eventually deposit the tough seeds in its droppings, which conveniently acts as free fertilizer. Other plants prefer to hitch a ride. Those annoying blackjack seeds we talked about earlier have tiny, sharp hooks on their outer shell. They are built specifically to grab onto passing animal fur or human socks. Take a look at these dry pods hanging from a jacaranda tree. Some plants build tiny wings or delicate parachutes onto their seeds so they can float on the wind for miles. And a few plants take a more dramatic approach. As their seed pods dry out in the hot sun, they build up intense tension until they violently snap open, launching seeds like tiny projectiles. From the microscopic fusion of cells to the wide scattering of seeds, a plant's inability to move has driven it to develop these highly specialized survival systems. These are the systems that create the massive harvests we rely on every day.